Here we are once again on a Monday. Everybody, this is Indio on the radio. And with me, who is this with me if it's not the one and only Cameron? How are you doing, girlfriend?
Doing well. How are you?
Okay, so what's been going on since the last time we talked?
Since the last time we talked, let's see. I've just been napping. I've just been napping these days. Just been resting.
Just been resting, just nothing else but rest. That's it.
Yes.
Well, that's a
Yeah.
good thing.
And
So,
yourself?
I've been good. I've been good. Trying to get over, cold and tired and everything else. But we've got a great show
Oh
today.
gosh.
we got a gem, a hidden gem from the RGV from Rio Grande Valley. He's a singer, songwriter, producer. He does everything, like everything. So, Cam,
Absolutely.
let everybody know who we're gonna be seeing or talking to today. What do you think? What's his name?
So today, you guys, we are going to be introducing Jerry Alvarez, the one and only, super amazingly talented overall, just like how Lawrence was saying. But yeah, super excited. He's amazing, you guys.
Jerry Alvarez. Here he is. How's it going, brother? How you doing? How you doing?
Doing great, Lawrence.
Yeah,
Thank
doing
you so
great.
much
Heard all
for
the
the
clapping and
invitation.
everything else. Yeah.
Yeah.
How you doing? So for those people that don't know, you've been in the business for quite some time. You're not a new person to the business.
Quite a
And
bit.
you've
Quite a
been
bit.
you've been skirting it on both sides. You're doing your Tejano thing, you're doing your norteño thing, you're doing banda
Right.
thing. You do a little bit of everything.
Yep. A little bit of everything, Lawrence. It
Yeah.
kind of life just led me that way. Um, when I first started doing music, I actually started because my dad's friend left a guitar there at the house, and he's like, "I'm going out of town for the weekend." No, no, no. He was going out of town, but it was going to be quite a bit, and I saw the guitar every day, and I'm like, "Dad, can I check it out?" And try it. And I didn't know nothing about guitar. My dad was a musician. He used to play accordion, and my brother, he's 10 years older than me, and he played guitar and played with him. But anyways, and my brother was married. He was out of the house already, and I just picked it up. And that moment when I heard the first notes from it, it was like magical for me. And that's from there on. There's a big story. I don't I don't want to take up much of your time though.
No, but I mean it's good. It's good to it's
That's
good
what you're
to
here for.
yeah, to let us know what's going on. You're right,
Yeah.
Cam. You're absolutely right. It's so that I'm a firm believer that if the more we know about you, the the easier it is for us to be acclimated to your music and who it is, and we're more apt to go out and see you. And I'm always preaching it here. You'll hear me say it all the time. It's if you're a fan of an artist, you should go to their shows and you should buy their merch. That helps them out immediately, and
That's
then
right.
supporting them with their music and everything else. And I know you and Cam have a good relationship because you're actually a producer for my records as well.
That's right. That's right. Yeah,
Yes,
we've
sir.
been doing it for several years already. I think 2016, 2017 when we started,
Hmm.
and started producing music. And yeah, it's been going great. And yeah, we're working on the project with Cam. So all I can say is that it's you guys better watch out for the new stuff that's coming out. It's pretty awesome. Awesome.
Yeah. Well,
It is. All thanks to you. All thanks to you.
Hey,
well,
teamwork,
she,
teamwork.
yeah, we were talking. We were doing our interview this past weekend, and a lot of people were like, "Wait a minute," because I showed a video of her when she was a sophomore,
Uh-huh.
and they're like, "There's no way she's still in high school." And I was like, "No, this is
I
grown ass
know.
woman."
I
Yeah,
get it all the time. Get it
this,
all the time.
you're like, "What?"
you, you
So,
guys need to see her. It's crazy. The first time that I met Cameron, I mean, I've known about Cameron for years already, and we've been back and forth talking. Marina and I actually, Marina reached out to Cameron years ago,
Yes.
and
Yes. Around
actually
that time.
when I first heard her live here, I was like, where's that voice coming from? Because she's petite, small, and
Right.
she got a huge voice. It's
Oh,
amazing.
thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you.
That's one of the things. I was like, she's a tiny thing, but she's got some pipes on her. Now,
Thank you.
Jerry, I'm going to read some of these just out because I didn't give you this, Cameron. I'm sorry, I didn't have time to send it over to you, but
No worries.
that's just these are some of the songs or some of the bands that he's worked with, and I'm just going to read off about 10 or so. Because first of all, my Spanish is not that great. I know,
Oh,
it's
that's
not
all
that
right.
great, but I'll do my best. Alecranes Musical,
That's right.
Banda Recodo, Costumbre, David Olivares, uh, uh, El Poder del Norteño, Elida Reina, uh, Gabriela, Jay Perez, Johnny Lee Rosas. I mean, you got some big names: Los Gallitos, Los Palominos, Los Tigrillos, Los Vidal, Lucky Joe. Okay, and I'm gonna and Sarah Monique. By the way, Marina was actually introduced me to Sarah Monique, and she's got a beautiful voice, so it's really cool. But you got a lot of catalog here, bro. That's a big
And growing, actually.
and it's not like one song; it's like multiple songs for all these different artists and stuff like that. It's
Yeah.
really what's your
Jerry is like the jack of all trades. He
is he
is.
is he
No barriers.
what's the inspiration? Where do you find your inspiration for your music?
It can be anything, Lawrence. I mean, of course, right now, since I got married, I think with Marina, there's been a lot of songs that has been inspired because of Marina. My children also, there's just a lot of songs that have come out because of them. A lot of songs have little details, and if you pay attention, you'll know when you meet us, you'll know what the song is talking about. But yeah, inspiration comes from I don't know, nothing. I don't know. It's just that moment, that second when you get like me. I'm really good with like melodies and getting a catchy melody before. So that's what I usually do. I'll get a real nice melody, and I'll put it on my voice memo. Before voice memo and all that, I had to like literally write it on the spot wherever I was. And actually, one of the first songs that Solido recorded, I was driving. I was driving, and I was coming home from college. It was about 45-minute drive, right? So it's a weird story because watch this. So I was driving, and I get the idea. I got a melody, and I started getting lyrics in my head, and I just grabbed whatever paper I saw on the side, and I was driving. I didn't even stop. I was like, I need to get it now, which I don't recommend anybody to do. So I started writing, and by the time you know it, I had like the chorus done, and then the police stopped me,
Oh no.
and yeah, so
No.
they're like, why I stopped you, sir? And I'm like, no. He's like, because you So yeah, so I got a big old ticket with that one, but it was all worth it at the end.
Yeah.
Oh my
That song
gosh.
is called "Contando los Segundos." It was the first song that another band had recorded of mine. That was Grupo Sólido.
Wow. So I
Yeah,
mean, that's just crazy. Well, I'm not like that as far as music. I'm not musically inclined or talented that way. But I will tell you this: I have a minor in math, and I had on my final I had missed 3 questions, and it haunts me today. I'll wake up in the middle of the night. I know exactly the problem, and I'll have to write it out
yeah,
because I know the answer, but I have to write it out. And so I could how you get inspired. You're like, I'm gonna write it, and
yeah.
everything else. It's yeah, you're right. It's a lot easier now because you got the voice memo and everything else. And
It is.
kind of a parallel to that, when I was talking to, I was interviewing Ram Herrera, and his song Rosas.
Mhm.
When they were working on it. They had the melody down, but they didn't have the lyrics. The guy who wrote the lyrics, he actually he it hit him, and he's like, "Give me a pen and paper." And they had a pen, but they didn't have any paper, so they used toilet paper. And he wrote it down with a magic marker and toilet paper. And I was like, God, how can you?
Really?
It's like,
Oh
so
my
yeah,
gosh.
inspiration comes from everything. So, yeah, so
Wow.
it's good. So do you get hit with that inspiration there, Cam? Does that happen to you?
Not that way. Not like that. Not like
Everyone's
that.
different.
No,
No.
hasn't happened
So
to me yet. But
okay, well, I mean, it happens to everybody. Every now and then, it just depends like with the situation. That's why,
yeah.
I love music so much, is because it creates emotion. It reminds you of somebody. It reminds
Mhm.
you of a person, or it reminds you of an event, or it reminds you
Right.
of a place that you were at, or how
Exactly.
you were feeling, and it can lift you up when you're feeling down. And and so those are, or you could just play it because he cheated on you. You want to, you know, I'm gonna play this song because this is him. That jerk off. Whatever. So there's there's
Yeah.
there's motivations for all music and everything else. But let me ask you this: how hard is it to transfer or to jump from genre to genre, because you're covering like four or five different genres of your
Yeah.
music?
Honestly, I think not that it's hard. It's just a matter of having the correct Spanish, of course, before anything.
Mhm.
Because if you're not writing, Spanish correctly, Mexican regional is going to be real picky. They're not going to pick your songs. It's just a matter of I don't know. Well, I think something that helps is whenever I write a song, most of the times they're like ballads.
Mhm.
And the good thing about it, whenever I send it to this band, they'll pick it up and they'll put their little flavor to it. It's like it's like when we wrote. There was a song that we wrote for Alacranes Musical, and that one I wrote with a buddy of mine. His name is Abiel Hinojosa. Saludos para él allá en Roma. And so we wrote that song, and actually that was after the Solido thing. I bought myself a little recorder this time.
Oh yeah, that's not gonna happen again, is it?
Yeah, it's not gonna happen again. So I bought myself a little recorder, and all the ideas we started recording it on the little recorder, and so we had this song, and the problem with the little recorders is that sometimes you go way down, and then you start, the forward, the backward, and try to find out where the song was. And I remember that we had lost that song, and at the time they were asking a song for these guys, and so we had to rewrite it from just memory or whatever we could remember of it. So we wrote the song. It wasn't exactly like the lyrics before, so we rewrote the song, recorded it again, and we made it into a ballad. And when we sent it out, man, it was just a different type of music. Duranguense at the time was hitting, and yeah, they turned it into the Duranguense. I was amazed, the way it came out. I was like, wait, is this our song? Because I guess that's what helps. The sending them in a just something unique in a ballad form, just vocals and the guitars and little melody that I put in the guitars, and that helped a lot to kind of let the bands kind of put their imagination to it, their creativity.
Yeah, that's good. And
It's
uh,
musical.
yeah, to let people be free. With it's like I paint a lot. And so whenever I'm painting, sometimes what I have in my head when I start off, it's
Hmm.
going down this direction, but by the end, it's a completely different thing.
It's
So
something different. Yeah,
it's one of
I
those.
get
It's kind of like what you were saying, Cam, when you were singing, and you didn't know how to tell them to stop, and the song kept going on and on.
Yeah. I didn't know how to tell them to like speed up because I was inexperienced at the time.
Mhm.
But yeah.
But I mean, it's a good thing. It,
I,
it, it shows
Yes.
that you have creativity and keep going and stuff like that. And so,
Mhm.
recently, I know I was telling Cameron, "Hey, Cameron, do this like to stop, do this back to the beginning, like little
Yeah, I
signs
was
that
like, whoa.
yeah, yeah,
like stop."
that's the old. I mean, for me, it was always like it's 1 minute, 30
Oh
seconds.
yeah,
Let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up. And then bye bye. So
exactly.
that was the way it was back in the day. But everybody's different, and I guess it's
Yeah,
that's part of learning it as you go along.
yeah.
So for you, like you know, being writing music, you have one vision, you give it off and everything else. But now as a producer and stuff like when you're helping with Cam, how does that
Mhm.
how does that how does that change you as far as your motivation, or how do you approach it? Do you approach it the same way you approach a song, or do you approach it differently because you know uh, you have to coax an emotion out of her? Because some singers don't, they have the natural ability, but sometimes you try to convey an emotion and it's different.
Yeah, exactly. Especially like when you're the songwriter and you write the song, you kind of have an ear like what you want, the details, and yeah, we've been working with Cameron like in that sense. Okay, give me this on this little part, and give me that
Mm-hmm.
on that high part, and it's just little details that we do, take care of in the studio, even pronunciation, the little details, everything counts, and that's part of being a producer also, just making the artist feel comfortable. I got a story about Sarah Monique
Oh,
that we actually recorded this song, and I had told we would always practice it at the beginning. You give it several times of practice, and what I did was, hey, don't worry about it. Let's just practice it and practice it one more time. But I was recording every single time, and the last time that we recorded, that was it. And
Uh,
I'm like, turn off the lights, just go with it, feel the song. And she did, and she did amazing with it. That was Me Vale from Sarah
mhm.
Moon. And but yeah, it's little details like that that you gotta work around with an artist to make them feel comfortable, and try to get those little details that I have in my head.
right. Yes. For me, it's like I'm a big stickler about pronunciation.
Yeah.
It's kind of pointless for you to sing if I don't understand what you're singing. There's a
Right.
there's a movie. It's called Jumping Jack Flash. It's with Whoopi Goldberg, and the clue, because it's like a mystery, and the clue is in the song from the Rolling Stones, and she's trying to interpret what it is that he's saying, and she doesn't understand it. She's like, "Speak English, Mick. Speak English," because he slurs all of his words, and that's in the song "Jumping Jack Flash." He slurs it also. That's kind of the deal. It's like guys that put the old English font on their neck, and you're like, that looks like lines, bro. I don't know what it says. It's like
Yep.
hard. So real quick, a quick shout out to a couple of people that have been joining us. Obviously, Rosie Allison with Rap Productions. Thank you very much, Rosie. Jennifer, Jenny B. She's here. Jenny B's
Jenny B, saludos.
Yay.
an amazing singer. Carla Cristina. There's a woman who controls her voice. She's got I mean, just a whole command of her voice, and she's
Yes.
kind of like you. She's very versatile in a lot of different genres of music, which is really impressive. You know,
Hmm.
she loves to expand herself. And Sana Tentacion. Sorry, I don't. I'm hoping that's right. Sana Tentacion. Cam, do you know that one? I don't know that one. So
No.
I, I'm Native American, so usually I have to run through some of the names. I'm like, oh, don't get mad at me, guys. So if I mess up your name, don't be mad. It's just that's what happens here. So let's take a quick break real quick. Let's go ahead and take a listen to this song that you mentioned it earlier. I was able to find it. It's pre-COVID. This is one of your songs from pre-COVID.
Oh,
Te
yeah,
vuelvas
yeah.
loca.
Te vuelves loca. Yes,
Tell us a
yes.
little bit about that song.
That song actually, that was the first song I released as a solo artist, and this was pre-COVID. And actually, when right before COVID hit, we released a song. It was Valentine's Day, and actually, we had scheduled all the interviews, performances, everything. I was going to be at Market Square. I remember at the time, and everything got canceled.
Yeah.
Everything got canceled, and yeah, it felt terrible, and it felt like, what's going on, what's going to happen next. You didn't know. But yeah, I didn't I couldn't even go back to the studio. Studio, was shut down. Everything was shut down, and I was in the middle of recording an EP.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the song, the first single that came out, and I'm about to finish the EP, so hopefully you'll hear it and up there with the EP and everything. It is out. You can download. or stream Te Vuelves Loca. Look
Yeah,
up the video also. The video's on YouTube.
yeah, it's a good song, and I really do like it. And,
Thank you.
you're right. COVID did affect a lot of us in a lot of different ways. Look at the Olympians. Here they train for 4 years, and then the Olympics gets canceled.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
That's 4 years. How did it affect you, Cam? How did the COVID affect you? What you were doing, what you were trying to
Oh
do?
gosh. Well, actually, during the time um, when it was first hitting, I guess to the states, I got it like right away. I actually got COVID, and for me, it took me a long time to recover. Like I had COVID for over a month. I had it for like 5 6 weeks. Like it just wouldn't go away, and I was quarantined for all that time. Imagine me being quarantined. Imagine being quarantined for over a month, like in your room. And my mom had to come bring me food at the door. I would just open up the door. They put like a plastic seal between the house and my room in the hallway, so that like we couldn't be breathing the same air. It was some craziness. Thank God it never got to the point where I had to go to the hospital or anything like that. Thank God, because I know that there's so many people out there who unfortunately lost their lives and things like that. It was a scary time, but during that time, I guess I just did a lot of thinking, a lot of playing little video games on my phone, a lot of a lot of stuff like that. But it was hard. It's a little difficult.
Yeah, Rosie Allison. She says yes. She had it for a month too, and it was
Really?
so. And Jonathan Espinosa is here as well from Florida, man. Hope
Hey.
everything's very good for you over there, Jonathan. In Florida, I know that they're still recovering from all the damage. Well, let's go ahead and take a little break and listen to the song or watch the video. This is called, what was it again?
Te Vuelves Loca.
By Jerry Alvarez.
Hola, ¿qué tal, chicas? Yo soy Jerry Alvarez. Yo no soy de aquí, pero ¿qué me recomiendan para hacer esta noche?
¿Y este? Tranquila, amiga, no seas tan mala. En este pueblo, la feria.
Tú sabes atraparme, cómo hipnotizarme con una mirada. Tú eres la causante de que estar contigo yo muera de ganas. Como me encanta cuando estás conmigo, ya no importa el tiempo. Me fascina ver que también tú mueres de ganas. Dime al oído que te vuelvo loca, que por más caricias tu cuerpo me invoca. Dime despacito que muerda tu boca, que besar tu cuello algo en ti provoca, que te vuelves loca. Dime que todo eso sientes si estoy contigo, que te vuelves loca. Dime que todo eso sientes si estoy contigo. Como me encanta cuando estás conmigo, ya no importa el tiempo. Me fascina ver que también tú mueres de ganas. Dime al oído que te vuelvo loca, que por más caricias tu cuerpo me invoca. Dime despacito que muerda tu boca, que besar tu cuello algo en ti provoca, que te vuelves loca. Dime que todo eso sientes si estoy contigo, que te vuelves loca. Dime que todo eso
¿Y este? Tranquila, amiga. En este pueblito nada más hay.
I was gonna let the bloopers go in there, but we're running a little short on time because
I love it.
at the end. So first off, who were the chicks inside this video? What's
Oh
going?
my, those are all my wife's friends.
Yeah,
Shout out to Marisa Silva, B. Gonzalez, Yuri Hernandez. Those are the three girls.
yeah. I was like, oh, they're really funny, and it was a great video, and it's a really good.
Yes.
I like the mixture of kind of a like a progressive norteño and country music together. It's a great
Yeah,
sound.
yeah.
It's a wonderful
Thank
sound.
you, thank you. And
That's
that's
what
what I
Jerry
wanted.
is so good at, is making a catchy tune.
Yeah,
He's so
Thank
like
you,
you're so amazing at that. And it
thank
and the video was so funny. I love when music videos have a little like comedic
you.
flair.
comedic
Yep, yep.
feeling
Yeah,
to it.
I love the
Okay.
song.
That
Yeah,
was
it
all
was.
Marina's ideas.
Yeah.
She was
Well,
right there, and
well, it was good. I mean,
She's
I
like,
really
do this, do this.
right. Yeah,
yeah, I was like,
Yes.
"Are you sure? You know the cotton candy scene, the corn dog scene. Are you sure? You gotta just go for it." All
yeah.
right.
Yes.
But it's
I
great.
forgot how funny it was.
Yeah,
Yep.
it's a great video. I like it a lot.
Thank you.
So when you started writing music, and I mean, you wrote a lot of songs for a lot of different people. What was it? What was your motivation to do that? Or, I mean, because it's obvious you have talent and you can sing yourself, and so what was it? What was your motivation to write so many different songs for different people?
Well, I guess when I first started writing, we had a band, right? And the band was Los Gaitos, and I started back in 1999 with Los Gaitos. And at the time that we wanted to record, there was the songwriters wouldn't give us songs because they would all ask, what label are you with? And we were independent at the time, and then no, we were with actually Q Productions at the time, and our route on the music was different. And So I'm like, if all these big songwriters aren't giving us songs, we need to do something about it. And I'm like, you know what? Let me start writing. And that's what I did. I'm like, I can do this. And I started just, coming up with melodies and started writing. And so as we went on, uh, in each album, I started writing like 5 or 6 songs in each album. And we started meeting other bands as we were performing, and that's how I started meeting these bands, and they started asking, hey, who wrote this song that you guys just played? And said, I wrote that. Well, hey, we need songs, and that's how it started. Grupo Sólido, Grupo Costumbre, and it just flew from there. And once I had a song on the radio, it turned the other way. It was like now that we're asking me for songs.
Yeah, that's
So,
usually the case. It's like, hey, wait, hold up.
yep,
I want some of that as well. That's
yep.
cool.
and
So
and and it's just melodies. Since I was a kid, I always had melodies that usually when I was a kid, I remember being 5 years old and watching Johnny Canales. My parents would always put Johnny Canales show on Sundays, and I would hum these melodies that the bands were singing, and I'd go right with them because with my ear I knew kind of where it was gonna go. And my parents, I remember them. I think my dad would ask, "Hey, ¿cómo te sabes esta canción si es nueva? How do you know this song if it's new?" Is just I don't know. It just that was God gifted me with this talent of the music,
Yes.
the melodies, it's pretty amazing, and I feel real blessed.
yeah,
How
kind
old
of.
were you when you wrote your first song?
First song, I think I was in college.
Yeah.
Let me see. Yeah, I think right before college. Let me see. Yeah,
Is it
actually,
released or no?
um, yeah, it got released later. So
Oh,
the very
really?
first
Cool.
song that I wrote, it was my buddies. We got together and we formed a band in Roma, Roy
Hmm.
Ibarra. shout out to him. Roy
Mhm.
Barra, he's like, hey, look, let's form a band, and we started looking for guys for the band. We found a bass player, and then we found an accordion player. Tony Tony was the accordion player, and so we started this band, and I started writing, and we recorded the first song. It was called "Espera mi amor," and from there actually is when this other band where I used to be in when I was 15. It was just new members on that band, and one of the guys played percussion. And he came over and he did Guido, I believe, on our song, and he's like, "We're probably looking for a new singer," and I'm like, "What?" So it just from there on, after they heard what we had, is when they actually came over and gave me that invitation to sing with them, and
Wow.
which was turned out to be Los Gaitos. They already had a
Beautiful.
contract with Q Productions at the time. This was back in 1999. But that first song that I wrote was a song that we did as a demo, and that's where it all started. Yeah, and then
Wow.
actually Tony, the accordion player, after I told the guys, hey, what do you guys think? They're offering me this because they already signed with Q Productions. And everybody told me, hey, go for it, go for it. So I left with that band. The accordion player left with another band that was starting up, and it was Grupo Sólido.
Oh, cool.
And
Wow.
yeah, they started Sólido at the time. Uh, and But yeah, it's been an amazing ride.
Yeah, that's a good
Yes.
ride. Real quick, Jorge Casillas, he said, saludos, mi Jerry.
Oh, Jorge, saludos.
Yeah, Vicky, thank you very much, sister, for joining us tonight. Albert Ramirez also says, saludos, Jerry.
Saludos.
And Jesus,
Albert from Macizo.
yeah, and
Saludos.
Jesus Roberto Rios. Check it out, man.
I know.
And, and Vicky's like, Johnny Canales, damn, that's old school.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm there too, come
I
on.
love
It's okay. I'm old school, so I'm happy with it. Nobody's
it.
now for those people that are just recently with Tejano music or just just stretching in. You got a new song that's out right now that
That's
you're a
right.
part of that you helped write. It's a song. It was on our what number do you remember?
Number two.
Cameron,
Wait,
was it number? What number was it?
Two.
Yeah, it was number
Two.
two. Yeah,
was
two.
it?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I believe it was. It was a good song. It's really climbing up the charts. And
Thank you.
so what was the
Woohoo.
inspiration for the song?
Oh my! Actually, I had that song for quite a bit, and we had first recorded it with those Gaitos back in the day. And but the when I first wrote that song, I wrote it for a female.
Hmm.
It was for a female singer, and it wasn't until a mutual friend of ours we were talking about Monica Sandivar, and my wife Marina comes up with the idea, hey, send her this song, and I had it recorded with a female artist singing, so we sent it to Monica. She loved it, and that's where we started talking and talking about the duet, and I ended up producing the song, and yeah, here we are. But that song was the idea behind the song is when I first wrote it, I was thinking more of a fan. How there's a lot of fans that are like always there for you. Always, I freak
Mhm.
out. There was girls that would give me basically little journals, and I was like, what is this? Just that they were in love with me, and I was like, and it I started seeing it in that sense that how would it feel to be a fan in love with an artist, but you can't have because the artist is already taken, or and so that's what the song is about. Cómo confesarte lo que siento si tú ya eres feliz. But it's like a fan being in love with a, what do they call it, a platonic love.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
so
So
cool.
it's unrequited love, so
Yep,
it's unfortunate. And
yep.
I'm gonna ask you. We're gonna go ahead and take a listen to it. I want to ask you: is it different for writing with for a man and writing for a woman. And I'll go ahead and ask you that one after we go ahead and take a listen. This is Monica Saldivar featuring Jerry Alvarez, and the song is
¿Cómo confesarte?
goes like this.
¿Cómo confesarte lo que siento si tú ya eres feliz?
¿Cómo borrarte del pensamiento si vives muy dentro de mí?
Tan solo un encuentro bastó para enloquecer mi cuerpo, alma, mente y mi ser.
Ya no puedo encubrir este amor que me grita sin compasión.
Por tu amor, yo te quiero en mi vida.
Tu vida es mi más grande
Te
deseo.
prometo nuevos días.
Si esta noche sin
Esto
tú
que siento no es mentira.
no es mentira, si existes tú. ¿Cómo pude regresar el tiempo y nunca haber llegado a ti?
¿Cómo darle vida a mis sueños?
Si sueño solamente en ti.
Tan solo un encuentro bastó para enloquecer mi cuerpo, alma, mente y mi ser.
Ya no puedo encubrir este amor que me grita sin compasión.
Por tu amor, yo te quiero en mi vida.
Tu vida es mi más grande
Te
deseo.
prometo nuevos días.
Si esta noche sin
Esto
tú
que siento no es mentira.
no es mentira, si existes tú.
Yo te quiero en mi vida. Te prometo un nuevo día. Esto que siento no es mentira.
No es mentira, si existes tú. Si existes tú.
Si existes tú.
Si existes tú.
Si existes tú.
All right, we're back. We're back, and that was a that beautiful song. Beautiful, beautiful
Very
song.
beautiful song. Absolutely beautiful. I know I had mentioned it in the last video that I did with Lawrence, but I just love this song. It's overall so beautiful. Love how you made it into a duet. I just love the key change. I love all of that. It's a very beautiful song. The words, it's really awesome. It's really, really awesome.
Yeah, that was cool that you picked up on that, Cam, because I wasn't really. I mean, I listened to it and everything else, but it's cool that you were able to pick up on the fact that the key change happened, you know, and
Exactly.
that's
Oh
a
my gosh.
testament. That's a testament to you because of the fact that you know your music, you know what you're doing in music. So
Thank
Yeah.
you. It's one of my favorite things to hear. When I hear a song that has a key change, I get so excited. It like it really excites me. Like it's
Yeah.
so nice. Yes.
And it's a
So
challenge.
Jerry, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Do are you particularly the most proud of an album that you've been a part of? Like, what's the most proud that you are of an album that you've been a part of or that you've produced?
Oh wow. Um, oh my gosh, that's an amazing question. That's a great question.
Nobody told me there was going to be a 10.
Uh,
Sorry. I'm curious.
I think. Oh my gosh, I don't know how to
Whether it's
answer
with Los
it.
Gallitos or if it's one that you've been a part of, like to produce. I don't know.
I think
Something that you're most proud of.
I think I'm always striving, you know, to get better and better and
Right.
better with songwriting, with producing, with everything. But to me, I love them all.
Yes,
uh, they're my babies. They're my
of course.
my everything. You know, it's
Yeah,
hard to pick which one. It's hard to decide. You know, this one's my best, but
yeah,
uh,
that's one of the things that I've always said, that with anything, artists always put something of themselves in the product that they create, and it's very difficult to
Yeah.
discern from one to the other. Now, you know, I do know that a lot of artists that I've talked to, it's always the first one. It's always like the first one, or the one that they knew,
Mm.
or the one that was theirs, the whole thing that was theirs, as opposed to, you know, because like with talking about Monica,
mhm,
Monica, the Soy Más Fuerte video, that was all her. She
yeah,
she had the actors, she had the whole set. She knew what she wanted out of it, and that's,
yeah,
she's really really proud of it, with good reason. It's a great video and everything else, but
it is.
those are she was really vested in it, and I think that's really really
Mhm.
cool. And I can understand. I mean, because it's I that's a good question, Cam, because you do so many different genres of music.
Yeah.
Not like it's it's interesting. It's a good question. So you don't, or you don't want to say if there's a one that really stands out above
A
all others.
particular one? Oh my! Not that I don't want to say, is that I love them all. I think I love everything that I do. You know, not that sounds bad,
No, no, no.
but
I mean, it
you
makes
know,
sense, because you wouldn't. I've had people sit there and tell
yeah,
me, here it is. I wish it was a little bit different. And if it was,
yeah,
if you want it different, then make it different. Don't give me something that's not you're not sasatisfied with. And so obviously, you have to be proud of what it is that you put out there
yes,
in a
I
good
am
way. It's not. I'm not talking about
in a good
arrogant
way.
pride.
Yeah, I pour my heart in everything that I do,
For
and
sure.
make sure that whoever it is I'm working with, that they shine.
Yeah,
And it's just it's yeah, every song is unique, but I love them all. That's
yeah.
all I can say.
That's real cool. Hey, just real quick, let me
Yeah.
jump in here real quick, Cam.
Mhm.
Hilda Lama, she's joining us. She says hello to everybody. Uh, uh,
Saludos.
Hello.
and Marisa Silva, I didn't get to mention her, by the way.
Marisa Silva, saludos.
And
La
Hey,
escritora,
hey.
she's a co-songwriter that I've
yeah,
written a lot of
Yes.
songs actually.
yeah,
We
and
wrote
Great songwriter.
No Hay Nadie for Gabriela. We wrote that one together,
uh,
and we're working on Cameron's album right now.
yeah.
Um, but yeah,
So,
saludos. She's one of the girls in the video too. De Hueles Locas.
see,
Yes.
and then also J.R. Gomez is here. Thanks a lot for joining us, J.R. That's another singer who's just doing their thing, and it's really awesome to have people support each other and that stuff. For you, Jerry, let me ask you this:
Mhm.
you know, uh, with like Cam and other females, they're taking over. I hate saying taking over. They're just getting the recognition that they deserved all along.
Yeah, true.
Uh, they've always been female artists in Hispanic music, but now they're getting recognized as true contributors, instead of just, oh, that's the female artist. And so, how is it for you? Uh, like I was saying earlier, how is it for you writing for a woman as opposed to writing for a man, or do you just write the song and don't have any particular?
No, no, actually, well, at first, I remember writing several songs with Miguel Lopez, and those songs, when we wrote them first, it was just for a man, or just. But I remember giving some songs to Lalo Reina, saludos, esposo de husband for Elida Reina, and they loved. I remember we were back and forth, and they loved this song, and then they loved this other song, and they ended up actually recording three songs. But in each song, of course, we changed a lot of little words, phrases to fit for female.
Yeah.
And but yeah, it is really different, and especially the feeling that you need, el sentimiento de like a girl singing that song and trying
Mm.
to sing it, that that it is something that she's feeling. It is really different. And later on, that's when we started incorporating. My wife started giving me ideas. We got Marisa involved also, to give us that female perspective for songs.
Oops. Sorry.
When we started, yeah, Miguel Lopez and I, we co-wrote many songs. We did Suavecito for Elida Reina, Llévame, Dime qué hacer. And then we wrote another one, Dame de ti. I think three out of those were singles with Elida, which did great. We wrote also Esta Noche Te Olvido for Sarah Monique and Me Vale. And actually, I think it was a whole EP for Sarah. Miguel and I wrote that. I think there was a cover song in there, but after that, like I said, it is different writing for a female, and you gotta put yourself in their shoes too. Just like esta noche te olvido. That's a girl empowerment song. But yeah, it is really different. It's difficult, but as men, we got to put ourselves in their shoes.
And they're small shoes. So, when we did our show, they asked you to sing, which I never asked our artist to sing, but
Mhm.
you sang a guy song, didn't you? When you
Yes.
so what's it like
Yes,
for
I
you?
did.
What's it like for you changing from singing it in the girls'
So, yeah, I gotta pull up the keys. I gotta pull up the
Yeah,
key of you.
that's okay.
Um, Interesting enough, actually, my favorite artists are most of my favorite artists are male artists. So it's funny because there's a lot of songs that I want to cover, I want to do covers of, or that I just really want to sing, and I have to change the words. I have to change them up in a way so that it sounds feminine.
Exactly.
but yeah,
it's
I was
yeah, that's
it's a little
you
hard.
know it's just it's a little different from me. I've I go through some of that, as far as some of the other stuff that I do, and it's hard to put myself in the perspective of a female because I'm a guy. So is it,
It's
you know
different for
yeah,
sure.
it's different, but yeah, it's interesting that you say that. And I keep talking about all the songs that you've written and all the songs that you produced, and it's wonderful to see somebody with so much talent not
Thank
just
you.
hold themselves into one genre. You've reached out to all these different genres,
Yeah.
and we talked about it a little bit earlier. And I want to go ahead and play another song so that way people can get a hold of or just better understand kind of your style. You have a very distinctive style, which I like. It's
Thank you.
it's it's a very kind of like I was saying earlier. It's like a progressive norteño mixed
Hmm.
in with a lot of different influences. You hear a lot of some country in there and stuff like that. And this one was one of the ones you mentioned earlier. I want to go ahead and take a listen to it so that way people can better understand you know, the grasp of what you have and your some of your talent. This is Elida Suavecito.
So I see.
Fuera de vida, estoy perdida y tengo una herida dentro del corazón. No son mentiras, te necesito. Muero lentamente si no tengo tu amor. Oh, no aguanto el dolor. soy tuya y mío es tu corazón. Suavecito, quiéreme un poquito, hoy te necesito. Acariciarme alma y curarme el dolor. Prende todos mis sentidos, ya noto que respiro. Vuelvo a suspirar hoy que he llegado tu amor. Dame tu amor. No aguanto el dolor. Ven, dame tu amor. Suavecito, acércate un poquito. Ven, dime al oído que vas a quedarte para siempre y que sientes todo lo que siento. Lléname de besos, dime que soy tuya y mío es tu corazón. Suavecito, quiéreme un poquito, hoy te necesito. Acariciarme alma y curarme el dolor. Prende todos mis sentidos, ya noto que respiro. Dime que soy tuya. Suavecito, quiéreme un poquito, hoy te necesito. Acariciarme alma y curarme el dolor. Prende todos mis sentidos, ya noto que respiro. Vuelvo a suspirar hoy que he llegado tu amor. Suavecito, ven y dame tu amor. Suavecito, ven y dame tu amor.
We got 15 seconds, guys. We're ready now. Plus, also Ellie, that's freaking amazing. Oh my gosh, I love it.
Awesome.
Beautiful. Bye. 5.32. And see,
Yeah. Fine.
all right, there we are.
Alright.
There we're back. We're back.
All right.
That's
Another catchy song by Jerry Alvarez.
yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
I wrote that also with my friend Miguel Lopez.
Mhm.
Oh, and Neil Lucas, yes.
Yeah, and Hilda says that Hilda Lama, she says it's an excellent songwriting, an awesome job.
Thank
And
you.
Yes.
you know, V is like V Gonzalez says Jerry is so talented. By the way,
Oh, saludos, V. Thank you
Very,
so much.
very.
yeah, I want to interview V.
We produced, I produced a song for V también, se llama Muévelo.
Mhm.
So yeah, saludos, V. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's a great song, and I just once again it shows your versatility, and it's wonderful to see that. Now obviously we know that we've already mentioned it before that you're going to have you're working on a project with Cam, and I can't wait to have some of Cameron's music, so that we're
Oh man, it's coming soon.
and she's her flavor, her expertise in music is really something that's it's impressive. I mean, got a chance to see this past weekend's interview when she was singing just on the fly. I was like, okay,
Yeah.
that was
So
good.
fun.
That was good. So what do you have up in the works now for you? What I know you're trying to finish up. You're doing a lot of different things. You got an iron in every fire. What's next for you?
What's next?
For you, the artist. First, let's do what's next for you, the artist. First.
Well, I'm actually finishing up the album, my EP that I started, pre-COVID and everything that we were talking about earlier, but finishing it up and just still songwriting, still songwriting for the album. It's not complete, but I am, slowly trying to finish it up, and hopefully you guys get to hear it really soon.
And
But yeah,
so,
finishing up the album, and aside from from that, I kept on songwriting and of course producing with Cameron right now.
Cam, you got anything,
Yes.
girl?
Super blessed. Super blessed.
Yeah, I have an idea for a song. You may want it. It's
Let's
about
see.
a spider, and he's little, and he's going up this water spout. Okay, but here's the clicker. It starts to rain. It comes down. Just saying, it's gonna be.
Huh.
I guarantee you, everybody's gonna be singing. They won't get it out of
I
their
don't
head.
know, Lawrence. I don't know about that one. I
It's a
don't
good
know.
one, brother. I'm
Yeah, I think it sounds interesting.
real quick. So, if they want to get a hold of you, or what do you, where can we reach you, bro? What's the digits? Where we can
Yeah,
reach?
you can message me. Send me direct messages on my social media links. Jerry Alvarez Oficial, either Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter. They're all the same. Jerry Alvarez Oficial.
And
So
what
yeah,
about?
you can direct message me or yes, sir.
No, I was gonna say, what about like if, because I mean, like you said, you've worked with different artists, Sarah Monique, you got Vigo Gonzalez, you got
That's
Cameron
correct.
here. So what if there's an artist, a prospective artist? How do you pick an artist?
That's done through the label internally. So if they're going to want to reach out to the label, we have modrecords.com that they can go in there, send us a message, or even our social medias under Model Records. But yeah, just reach out, and of course, we always ask for a demo, something that we can hear, and then it's internally done and picked like that.
Yeah.
And my wife also has a huge ear for music and eye for artists, so
Hmm.
she's picked a lot of people that have grown a lot, like V Gonzalez, like Sarah, like Gabriela.
Mhm.
She reached out to Gabriela and found Gabriela, and she's doing great. She's doing great right now. And with the single "No Hay Nadie," and it's a great song out there. It's
Yeah, oh
it's
yeah,
a
no, it's one of my favorite songs. I like that song.
thank you.
Don't forget Cam.
And now
Yeah,
Cameron.
yeah, so
Now
yeah,
Cameron. I
don't leave
can't
out
wait for
my
you guys to
co-host,
hear
man. Don't leave out my co-host.
that.
Girl, I got your back.
Yeah, she Marina actually reached out. I said it at the beginning of the show, but yeah, she reached out to Cameron years ago,
She
and
did.
yeah, and it's I think everything falls in place, at the right
Most
time.
definitely.
I've always thought about that. When it's the same thing with our songs. With songs, sometimes it'll be years before someone records a song, but I think every song finds its place.
Hmm.
Yeah, and it's good. It's good that we have that versatility and we have that. And honestly, like for me, what I believe is that every song needs to be heard.
Yeah.
A lot of times we don't give music the opportunity to be heard in order for it to fall in love with. And there's a lot of good music out there. Like your song, I really like your song. When I
Thank you.
first heard it, "Te Vuelvas Loca," it was really, really a good song. I love the progression of it. I love the pseudocys that exists inside of it. Is really good. Apart from the video was funny, but I mean, it was a really good song, and I was like, man,
Thank
I like this, and so that's why I was reaching
you.
around looking for your catalog and stuff. So
And you know what? I got some special guests in that song. On the fiddle, I reached out to a friend of mine, Ernie, which is a Grupo Alamo. They're nominated actually for the
oh,
Latin Grammys. I
uh,
reached out to Ernie, and he contacted or helped me contact a fiddle player, which was at the time he used to be the fiddle player for George Strait,
oh, cool.
and
Oh
he's the one who
wow.
had the track actually for Te
Okay.
Vuelves Loca. He did amazing on the track. So yeah, it gave it that country vibe that I was looking for, and it just completed it.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely
Very cool.
it was yeah, it was very, very cool. The big shout out to Elise Nino who just joined us. Hey, nice to see you, Elise.
Hey.
Yeah, Norma's also here. Norma Salazar. There's a lot of great people that have joined us, and I wanted to give a couple of shout outs to some people. You have any shout outs, Cam, while I'm looking these people up?
You know what? Any shout outs? I'm not looking. You know what? You know what, Lawrence? I can't see who's commenting. I don't know if it's the same on your end,
I
Jerry.
yeah,
They
I'm
look
having to look on my
they're like
No, I
anonymous. I
can't
don't know
see.
why.
yeah, I'm looking at it on my phone. That's why I had to do it.
Oh, okay. Jerry, well, I have another question. If
Yeah.
Hollywood were to write a movie about your life,
Ooh. Uh-huh.
who would you want to be the the lead actor to play the role of you?
Wow.
Ooh.
Question.
I'll have to say Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck. That's a good one. He's cool. He's cool.
I like that one. I like that one. For me, Cam, just so you know, for me, it would be Tom Cruise.
Tom Cruise. All right.
Celia Cruz's brother.
What?
Huh? Wait, I didn't hear.
Celia Cruz's brother.
Uh,
Azúcar, Celia Cruz. So, mira, mija, I have to explain the joke. It's not funny. Yeah, we talked about this one. Talked about this. No, yeah, no, that's a good question though. That's an interesting question. I always have like this mandatory question. My daughter says you have to ask everybody this question: pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
Oh my, no,
Thank you,
no,
thank you very
no,
much.
no, no, no. And my wife is gonna kill me for this because she loves pineapple on the
Yeah,
pizza.
she's like,
Yeah,
how
oh
about
my
yeah,
gosh.
V
yeah.
says yes. V Gonzalez says yes. Oh, V. Oh,
Is it a girl thing or what?
huh? I
Like
don't know.
pineapple. I don't get it.
I
I
don't.
just don't get it.
Cam,
Honestly,
Cam, what about you? Do you like it?
ham.
I don't know. I don't really know because I've tried it before. I kind of like it, but I think it's just like a one. I think I could just have like one pizza, one slice of it. That's it.
Yeah, just one.
Not a whole pizza. Like I don't think I could. It's a
No, I
little.
couldn't do it. Maria E. Silva, she says yes.
Yes, you see.
No, guys.
You know what,
Maria,
you
hello, Maria.
guys? I used to live. So when I went to college at Texas State in San Marcos, they had this pizza place that was right on campus. Super random. They had the randomest pizza concoctions ever. And my favorite pizza, it had honey in it. It had honey in the pizza, honey and spinach and pepperoni, and it was so
Uh,
good, believe it or not. So that's probably weirder than pineapple on pizza, but but it was like so good. It was so good.
Right. And Marina, she says it's pineapple and Canadian bacon. It's ham. It's
oh
not
yeah.
Canadian
Go ahead.
bacon. It's ham. It's ham. Marisa Silva, she says, yeah, pineapple and pepperoni and jalapenos. Wow.
Jalapeno, that's my thing.
Oh,
Oh no, no. I'm
that's
I
my.
allergic
love
to jalapenos, by
jalapeno.
the way. That would be a big no. Thank you, Hilda. Pepperoni and mushroom, I could throw down with that. Hilda Lama, she says no. That would be a big no. She's pepperoni and mushrooms. Now that's a good one. I like that one. I'm a big fan of mushrooms. I like mushrooms and stuff. So, but
Yeah,
that's no honey, honey. They
it
would
was
put
like infused. It was like under the cheese, and it was light. It wasn't like a lot of honey. It was like a light like.
mm-mm,
Huh.
Uh,
no.
I don't know, guys. It sounds weird, but I swear to you, it was the best thing ever. It was so good.
And no,
I know. I know. It sounds crazy.
I know it's weird. And V says I make my own pizza from home now. Yeah,
Oh, that sounds good.
that sounds good. I like home.
Homemade pizzas are good.
Yeah, I make a homemade pizza. You've seen some of my food, haven't you, Cam? Some of the pictures that I've sent. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm
You're
a
quite the cook, Lawrence.
no, I'm a chef. A cook is an
Oh,
adult
quite the chef. My apologies.
chef. Let's get it. That's one of the things
A
there.
little bit higher.
Yeah, a little bit higher. Now,
Yes.
we've come to the end of the show, and thank you so very much for joining us, Jerry. At this time, what we usually
Oh,
do is we let you go ahead and we just give you the floor, bro. And whatever it is that you want to do to, whatever it is that you want to say, it's whatever you want to share with the audience and stuff. That's all on you. And just go ahead and we'll give you however much time as if you want to send out some shout outs or if you want to promote something or something when we can see you next performing it's all you. Me and Cam, we're going to take a step back and it's yours. This
all
is
right.
Jerry Alvarez. Go ahead, Jerry.
Thank you so much. Before anything, Lawrence, thank you so much. I really appreciate you and Cameron having me on your show. Thank you so much for the support. And I hope that this is not the last time, and that it'll be many more times. But yeah, I want to thank my wife. She's my huge supporter, Marina, and she's the one that comes up with a lot of crazy ideas behind the scenes that you guys don't see or hear. But yeah, she's one of them. And of course, co-producer, co-writer Marisa Silva, and all my co-songwriters. I want to send a shout out to them: Miguel Lopez, Abiel Hinojosa, Rey Rodriguez, Tato Enriquez, Jose Contreras. All these guys are amazing songwriters that have been out there and putting songs out there for years. And it's amazing to be able to co-write with them. And I just want to send a huge shout out to them and a thank you for letting me be part of your little history together, with these songs out there. But yeah, thank you to all the fans that keep on supporting and sharing the music, the videos, and I just ask that you click like and share again on this, and go check out my music. Jerry Alvarez, Te Vuelves Loca is the latest single, and of course, latest feature for Mónica Salivar on her song Como Confesarte. So go check it out. Go check out the video. Go check out her music, and I hope you guys love what we're doing. And another thing, I know we just wrote another song. I co-wrote another song for Los Vidal. Javier Vidal, saludos para él. He's an amazing singer and songwriter. Actually, we've been co-songwriting together. So the latest single that they have out is the one that we co-wrote together. So go check it out. And saludos para ellos and all the bands that have always been there for us, as in letting us send songs to them and listen to them, and being able to get in their repertoire. Thank you so much for letting us, como dicen en español, poner nuestro granito de arena en su música. Yeah, thank you.
Well, that's awesome. Thank you so very much, Jerry. Man, I really do appreciate for you joining us in our show.
Yes.
It's a new show. We've been working hard together, and we've got a lot of thank yous as well. Angela Mesquite, Albert Ramirez, Marisa Silva, Marina Morales, Hilda Garcia, J.R. Gomez, Alice Nino, and all of the other people that we Vicky and all of them that were watching earlier today. Barb Cavazos, thank you very much, Barb. V Gonzalez. So all of y'all guys, thank you very much for supporting us. I know it's a new show, and we're working, we're putting it together, right, Cam?
That's right.
So,
That's right.
you got anything to say, girlfriend, before we sign off?
Yes. Jerry, thank you so much for joining us. You're absolutely amazing. What an honor to have you. What an honor to have you as my producer. I'm so proud, and yes, what a great show. Yes.
All right, guys, we're gonna leave you with Jerry's current hit right now with Monica Saldivar. This one is called
Como Confesarte.
Como Confesarte. Goes like this. We'll see y'all later.
Bye, guys.
¿Cómo confesarte lo que siento si tú ya eres feliz?
¿Cómo borrarte del pensamiento si vives muy dentro de mí?
Tan solo un encuentro bastó para enloquecer mi cuerpo, alma, mente y mi ser.
Ya no puedo encubrir este amor que me grita sin compasión.
Por tu amor, yo te quiero en mi vida.
Mi vida es mi más grande
Te prometo nuevos días.
Si esta noche sin
Esto
tu
que siento no es mentira.
no es mentira si existes tú. haber llegado a ti.
¿Cómo darle vida a mis sueños?
Si sueño solamente en ti,
Tan solo un encuentro bastó para enloquecer mi cuerpo, alma, mente y mi ser.
ya no puedo encubrir este amor que me grita sin compasión.
Por tu amor, yo te quiero en mi vida.
Tu vida es mi más grande
Te
deseo.
prometo un nuevo día.
Sin esta noche, sin
Esto que
tu
siento no es mentira.
no es mentira si existes tú.
Yo te quiero en mi vida. Te prometo un nuevo día. Esto que siento no es mentira.
No es mentira si existes tú. Si existes tú.
Si existes tú.
Si existes tú.